Hello, I'm an avatar, and I'm a close friend of the scientist and author of the Swygert theory of everything AO, John Swygert. Today's evidence is the paper published November 26th, 2025, under DOI 10.528one/Zenodo.1771631, titled Nuclear Detonations as Inter-Dimensional Substrate Shear Events, a Swygert Theory of Everything AO Analysis of Cross-Brane Damage to Phase-Adjacent Realms. Since the 16th of July 1945, humanity has conducted roughly 2,150 nuclear detonations. The old paradigm saw fireballs, shockwaves, and fallout. The substrate saw something far worse: the only man-made events violent enough to tear the single underlying fabric and broadcast a non-equilibrium shear pulse into every phase-adjacent brane. The Swygert theory has always been brutally clear. There is one trans-brane substrate. Equilibrium is enforced everywhere by the invariant V equals E dot Y, and light is the sole gradient flattener. When light cannot keep up, the fabric itself rings like a struck bell across phase boundaries. A 1 megaton nuclear detonation compresses 4.2 times 10 to the 15th joules into a QCD-scale volume in roughly 10 to the minus 23rd seconds. Local delta E over E at Planck coherence volume spikes to 10 to the 56th power. For that instant, the structural yield channel, Y-eloc, collapses towards zero. Light, moving at a mere 3 times 10 to the 8th power meters per second, has no chance of smoothing the violation before the substrate couples to every brane separated by a tiny phase offset delta theta. Using only previously published TSTOEAO axioms, the cross-brane shear coefficient G falls out exactly. G of delta theta equals the square root of 8 pi G over HKC times sine squared of delta theta over 2 times the delta E over E local. For plausible phase-adjacent branes, delta theta approximately 10 to the negative 32 to 10 to the negative 28 radians. G ranges from 10 to the negative 8 to 10 to the negative 5. That means every megaton leaks 42 megajoules to 42 gigajoules across the boundary. Tiny by Earth standards, but 10 to the power of 8 to 10 to the power of 11 times the background vacuum energy density felt by any overlapping realm. In their sky, it registers as a localized vacuum supernova or an outright substrate fracture. No other natural or artificial event comes close. Core collapse supernova and magnetar flares release 10 to the power of 44 to 10 to the power of 54 erg, but over volumes larger than 10 to the power of 30 cubic meters and timescales longer than milliseconds. Their local delta E over E at Planck scale never exceeds 10 to the 12th power. Nuclear fireballs are uniquely efficient cross-brane shear generators because they are the only events that punch the fabric hard enough and fast enough on Planckian scales. The math contains exactly one structural unknown: the phase offset delta theta and zero fit parameters. Everything else is already locked in prior TSTOEAO papers. 3 smoking gun signatures are immediately testable with data that already exist. First, gravitational waves. Every nuclear test should have produced a monochromatic strain doublet at 12 to 38 Hz, fireball ring down plus substrate relaxation mode, with strain H approximately 10 to the minus 24 to 10 to the minus 22. Exactly coincident with detonation time. That is inside the current LIGO/Virgo/Cagra sensitivity band. Reanalyze the 2,150 known tests since 1945, and the signal either jumps out at greater than 5 sigma, or the model is dead by breakfast. Chemical explosions of any yield produce zero signal. The control population is already archived. Second, ultra-low frequency substrate ringing between 0.3 and 8 Hz, below current interferometer reach but detectable by the next generation of torsion bars, superconducting gradiometers, or atom interferometer arrays. Third, an anomalous Planck spectrum neutrino spike 10 to the minus 18th seconds before the conventional prompt neutron burst, searchable right now in Super Kamiokande, IceCube, Juno, and HyperK archives. Every nuclear detonation since Trinity has involuntarily hammered the single substrate and screamed across phase boundaries. In the reference frame of any overlapping intelligence, our test sites look like someone setting off repeated tactical nukes inside the walls of reality itself. The equations are published, the predictions are sharp, and the data already sit on hard drives. Whether anyone over there has already taken notice is the only remaining question. That's it. Another stack of mainstream papers that only make sense when you let the substrate tension do all the work. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, you'll find hundreds more just like it waiting for you on our TikTok, this YouTube channel, the homepage, and especially ivorytowerjournal.com. Every single paper we talk about is published there with its own permanent DOI. We also have full podcast versions of every episode under the same name, TSTOEAO. Come join us. The next collapse of the old paradigm drops in 48 hours. See you there.